I'm thinking of significant figures, historical or contemporary, who have left an imprint on humanity. This particular individual cannot be overlooked. Though his beginnings were simple and obscure, the legacy he would leave would be astronomical in proportions. Born in a small town to a teenage peasant girl who was rushed into a marriage to protect herself from public disgrace, to a husband that was not this newborn's father. This little infant faced adversity from the earliest moments of his life. He was barely a toddler when the first assassination attempt was made on his life. From the moment he entered the world, he was cherished by some and hated by others, a sober foreshadowing of his destiny. He never possessed advanced degrees, attended prestigious universities, yet he stood toe-to-toe with the academic elite of his day, leaving them slack-jawed by his rhetorical genius and his profound insights. His voice carried an intrinsic authority that demanded compliance. He merely spoke the words, "Follow me," and people abandoned their entire life's work to travel as his pupil. His speeches stirred audiences with deep emotions, leaving some outraged with angers and others in joyful tears. The political leaders of his day wanted him murdered, while the commoners adored him and hung on his every word. This man captivated the minds of his contemporaries. Some called him great teacher, rabbi, and even master. Others accused him of being a rebel and a traitor. A few going so far as to say that he was a demonic demon. He revolutionized leadership, demonstrating that leading is less about being served and more about serving others. It is not forcing people into submission, but guiding them into greatness. He took a small group of ragtag, rough around the edges men and mentored them into becoming some of the world's most renowned theologians, writers, and orators. His actions of love, forgiveness, and sacrifice had moved some of the most violent and murderous of men to become the most caring, kind, and compassionate. He befriended prostitutes, drunks, and crooks, the social outcast of his day, showing them empathy and grace rather than ridicule and judgment. The love for humanity he exemplified sparked a flame that has fueled many of the greatest social warriors of our day with a blazing zeal to fight for the innocent, house the homeless, feed the hungry, free slaves, protect the defenseless, redeem the wicked, care for the widow, and nurture the orphaned. Philosophers, poets, warriors, and kings have been inspired by the spirit of who he was. His teachings have transformed empires. His influence touched people from every race, ethnicity, and creed. To our knowledge, he never wrote any work of literature. He did not travel the world. He did not accumulate great wealth. He did not do anything we would see as extraordinary. Yet in only 3.5 years of simply living an authentic life, he ignited a movement that has made a greater impact on the world than virtually anything else in human history. Here we are, 2 millennia after his death, and this man's teachings are still some of the most dominating influences of our time. Who is this man? By now I'm sure you have guessed. It is Jesus of Nazareth. Arguably the most significant historical figure that has ever existed. When it comes to Jesus, you can love him or you can curse him, but the one thing you cannot do is ignore the magnitude of his influence. One author writes, "I am far within the mark when I say that all the armies that ever marched, all the navies that were ever built, all the parliaments that ever sat, and all the kings that ever reigned put together have not affected life upon this earth as powerfully as that one solitary life, the life of this man, Jesus."